He never watches TV, but every day he takes apart a brand new TV, then throws it straight down from the 35th floor, because he accidentally got trapped in this abandoned building. The whole point of doing this was just to get the security guard downstairs to notice and come up to open the door for him, but the guard was listening to the radio and never noticed at all. Seeing that throwing TVs didn't work, he shouted desperately for help, but that tiny sound up in the sky was barely audible at all. Yet the man had no plan to give up. He grabbed a metal basin, and while shouting he banged on the glass, just hoping the sound would travel down the wall. But by nighttime his throat was already hoarse, and the guard still never came to rescue him. The man fell into despair, but the next day he still unwillingly came to the door, trying to open it, but the key broke off, and the lock outside didn't budge at all. So he found a pair of pliers in the kitchen, trying to pry the doorknob open, but even with all his strength, the lock never moved a bit. Seeing it was hopeless, the man simply smashed it with the pliers, but after pounding for half a day, he only left a small scratch on the door, and even hurt his finger in the process. The man grew furious, and kicked the door hard with his right foot. He believed the foot that once kicked in the World Cup could surely kick this door open, but he didn't know. Half the funds of this building were spent on the main door, so instead he nearly broke his own leg, and only left a few footprints on it. At this point the man finally realized he lived in the information age. Wasn't a phone the best way to call for help? He quickly dialed a locksmith's number, but as always in movies, either there's no signal, or the phone dies. The man got the second outcome. Before he could even say his address, the phone shut off by itself. He hurried back to the room to plug in the charger, but of course the director wouldn't let him escape that easy. Sure enough, after just a few seconds, the whole room went dark. The man instantly regretted. He should never have trusted the broker's nonsense, saying the feng shui here was great, and that Cupid star hovered above. As long as you lived here, you'd be guaranteed to find love within a month. Now look at him, trapped to death inside this place. Forget about finding love. Even getting out alive had become a problem. But right then, he thought of another way. He gathered up all the toothpaste from the bathroom, then wrote a rescue message on cardboard, and tossed it out from above. But because of the air current, the cardboard floated onto the roof. Yet the man refused to believe he'd stay this unlucky, so he wrote a second one. This time he stretched his arm far outside the window, hoping the cardboard would drift further out, but as it fell, it still landed on the roof. When he was about to write the third one, the toothpaste was gone, so in desperation, he ripped off the bandage on his hand, and squeezed hard on the wound. A blood letter was written that way. The man tossed it down, holding on to his last hope. This time the cardboard finally landed in a good spot. He was overwhelmed with excitement, believing that as soon as someone came up to grab their laundry, they'd see the note. So he sat by the window quietly waiting, but he ended up waiting the whole day. Finally his patience paid off. A woman came up to collect clothes. The man shouted